You wake up on concrete, cold and wet, smelling of oil and rust. And for a moment, you think you are dead. Then the pain reaches your head, slow and heavy, spreading until it becomes impossible to ignore. Your hands are tied behind your back with plastic cuffs pulled too tight. Your fingers are numb, your shoulders burn. When you try to move, a boot presses against your chest and a calm voice tells you to stay. The quiet tone is more frightening than any shout. A man steps in front of you, clean and well-dressed, with gentle eyes that do not fit this place. He raises his phone. On the screen is your house, your mother in the kitchen, your father with the newspaper, morning light on their faces. Normal, safe, for now. He tells you softly that this will not last unless you cooperate. Then he freezes the image on your mother's smile. Next, he shows you other photos. You with Isabella, your girlfriend, at a cafe, in the library, at the airport. Someone has been watching you for months. Then he tells you the truth. Her father is not just rich, he's a cartel boss. He runs one of the biggest networks in Mexico. Drugs, weapons, money, routes, ports, borders, everything moves through him. He controls people, police, and politicians. When he gives an order, someone dies. You are close to him, the man says quietly. Closer than anyone we can reach. He leans forward. You will give us information, he continues. Every meeting, every route, every move. And if you don't, he plays another video. A man standing outside your parents' house, watching, waiting. They won't live long, he finishes calmly. They untie you and give you water. You get close. You become family. Before sunrise, they drop you near your apartment. The streets are empty and peaceful, as if your life hasn't just been taken from you. Isabella is asleep when you enter, curled up on your bed, breathing softly, one hand tucked beneath her cheek. She looks small like this, unaware, safe, trusting you completely. You sit beside her and watch her for a long time, thinking about how fragile everything is, how one decision could shatter it beyond repair. For days, you try to gather information carefully, disguising curiosity as casual conversation. You ask where her father travels, whether he still works long hours, who manages his business when he's away. She only shrugs and smiles, telling you she doesn't know, that she never asks, that he keeps her away from those matters. She truly has no idea. Somehow that hurts more than if she were lying. The rivals call again. Your answers are not enough. They tell you that surface details are useless, that you need deeper access, that you must become part of the family. The words echo inside your head for hours afterward, spreading slowly like poison. Then another video arrives. Your father walking to work, unaware that someone is following him from across the street. After that, you stop thinking. You propose on a quiet evening, with no big setup and no crowd, just the two of you sitting together. She cries, says yes, hugs you tightly, and trusts you without hesitation. Later, you ask about her family and tell her that you want to meet them, that you want to know where she comes from before you get married. She smiles, agrees, and says she will take you home soon to meet her father. Inside, everything tightens. You take the next flight with her and inform the rivals on the way. They are pleased. Their messages are short and satisfied. You have done what they wanted. You land in Guadalajara, Mexico, late in the evening. The airport is busy, loud, and ordinary, which somehow makes everything feel more unreal. Outside the terminal, several large black SUVs are already waiting. Men in dark clothes open the doors without speaking, and you are escorted inside a tight convoy. The city slowly disappears behind you, replaced by long empty roads and high walls, until a massive mansion rises in front of you, almost out of nowhere. She squeezes your hand, sensing your tension, and leads you inside. Guards stand everywhere. Cameras follow every step. Then she introduces you to her father. He is calm, composed, and impossible to read. She tells you quietly that she has no siblings, that she grew up alone with him, and that her mother died when she was only 7. This place, this power, this empire, it is all that remains of her family. Now you walk through the mansion not as a guest, but as family. Doors that were once guarded for you now open without question. Men nod when you pass. Conversations lower when you enter. Then continue, because you are no longer an outsider listening in. You are part of the room. At first, the business looks almost ordinary. Meetings at long wooden tables, maps spread across polished desks, phones ringing constantly, discussions about routes, shipments, timing, security. It sounds like logistics. It sounds like management. It almost sounds clean. Then you begin to see what sits underneath it. One afternoon, you walk into the courtyard and notice two men kneeling near the fountain. Their hands are tied. Their faces are swollen. No one is shouting. No one is angry. Orders are given calmly. A gunshot echoes against the walls. One body falls forward, then the second. The fountain water turns pink at the edges. Guards drag them away as if cleaning up broken furniture. Another night, you are invited to observe a warehouse inspection. A truck was short on delivery. Someone skimmed from the top. The man responsible is brought in. He begs, promises, swears loyalty. Don Rafael listens without raising his voice. A nod is all it takes. The beating happens quickly, efficiently. When it is over, the floor stained and the lesson is clear. No one speaks about it again. You start noticing small things. Blood washed from concrete at dawn, fresh tire marks outside the gates, men returning with torn shirts and silent faces, the smell of gunpowder that lingers longer than it should. And through all of it, her father remains calm, controlled, never loud, never chaotic. He does not look like a monster. He looks like a man maintaining order in a violent world. That is what unsettles you most. Because now you understand, this is not random brutality. It is structure, it is system, it is power, and you are standing inside it. Slowly, without anyone announcing it, you are allowed closer to the core of things. At first, you are only present in meetings as a silent observer. Then you are asked for small opinions. Then you are trusted with schedules, folders, phones, and access codes. No one questions it. You are family now. You belong. You begin paying attention to everything. Routes, times, names, patterns. Every shipment follows a rhythm. Drugs move north, weapons move south, cash moves in circles until it looks clean. Nothing ever travels alone. A truck is never just a truck. A container is never just a container. Every load has decoys, backups, and insurance. Some shipments leave in refrigerated trucks carrying fruit. Others are hidden inside machinery, furniture, or car parts. At the ports, containers are marked with codes only a few people understand. Certain officials are paid to look away. Certain scanners are programmed to fail at specific hours. Paperwork is forged so well that it passes through 3 countries without raising suspicion. Money is handled even more carefully. Cash from street sales is collected in small bundles, moved through courier networks, and deposited into shell companies. Fake import-export firms, construction projects, hotels, and farms turn dirty money into clean balance sheets. Cryptocurrency accounts are used for fast transfers. Offshore banks in the Caribbean and Europe hold the rest. Nothing stays in one place for long. The international partners arrive quietly. Sometimes they are Colombians negotiating supply, sometimes Russians dealing in weapons, sometimes Europeans handling distribution, sometimes Asians managing chemical precursors. They come on private jets, stay in luxury hotels, eat expensive food, talk business like corporate executives. They shake hands over deals worth millions, then leave the country before anyone notices. You sit in those rooms. You listen. You memorize. You pretend to be interested in numbers and logistics while secretly storing everything in your head. At night, you send messages. Encrypted apps, disposable phones, short codes, routes for next week, meeting locations, container numbers, names of buyers, amounts transferred. The rivals respond quickly, sometimes with praise, sometimes with new demands, sometimes with reminders of your family. Each message feels like another brick added to the wall closing around you. You become careful, too careful. You never take photos, never copy files, never ask twice. You rely on memory, on patterns, on repetition. You turn yourself into a living database, and every time you press send, you know exactly what it means. Another shipment lost, another ambush planned, another group of men who might not come home. But the money keeps flowing, the business keeps growing, and the man who trusts you most never suspects that his empire is leaking through you. Don Rafael begins to trust you in ways that feel undeserved. He asks for your opinion during meetings and actually waits for your answer. When others interrupt, he tells them to let you finish. He listens carefully, nods, and sometimes adjusts plans based on what you suggest. In front of his men, he praises your judgment. Once, after a long discussion about routes and security, he looks at you and says, "You think like a leader." The words settle deep inside you. That night, alone in your room, you sit in the dark and almost cry, not from pride, but from the weight of what you are hiding. Then the rivals call. Their voices are sharper now, impatient. They tell you the time has come. They want him dead. All they need is one final detail, a confirmed travel route and the exact time he will be on the road. You hesitate longer than before, but you still give it to them. Your hands tremble as you type. When the message is sent, you feel something inside you shift permanently. The night before the attack, you cannot sleep. You lie on your back staring at the ceiling, replaying every possible outcome. At 3 a.m, you pick up your phone and call him. You keep your voice steady and tell him not to take the car tomorrow, that something feels wrong, that he should delay or change plans. There is a long pause on the other end. Then he agrees calmly, without suspicion. The explosion happens anyway. Not his car. Another convoy. Other men. Drivers who trusted the route. Guards who followed orders. Workers loading equipment nearby. The blast tears through metal and concrete. Smoke rises into the morning sky. Bodies fall where they stood. They die because of the information you gave. And for the first time, survival does not feel like victory. He calls you into his office the next day. There are no guards, no shouting, no tension in the air. Just tea on the table and silence between you. He studies your face for a long moment before speaking. Talk. So you do. You tell him everything. The kidnapping, the threats, the videos of your parents, the fear that followed you everywhere, the information you passed, the damage it caused, the betrayal. You do not hide anything. When you finish, you feel hollow, as if you have emptied yourself completely. He listens without interrupting. Then he speaks. You were afraid. I understand fear. I do not respect betrayal, but I respect the truth. You hand him all the information you have, contacts, numbers, routes, messages, names, everything you collected from the rivals. Nothing remains with you. He looks through it once, then meets your eyes. Your family will be protected, he says. From now on, they are under my watch. It is not comfort, it is certainty. And for the first time in a long while, the fear loosened its grip on you. After that, things begin to change quietly. Your handlers disappear first. One stops answering calls. Another is reported dead in a roadside shooting. Then another is found in a burned car. Names you once feared are erased one by one. Soon, the messages stop. The phones fall silent. No more instructions, no more threats, no more reminders. The rivals are being dismantled, carefully and completely. You marry Isabella soon. The ceremony is private but heavily guarded. Powerful men attend. Smiles hide weapons. Vows are spoken under watchful eyes. She looks happy, relieved, certain that the worst is behind you. You try to believe it too. Your parents are moved into a larger apartment in the city. Security guards at the entrance, cameras in the halls, a driver for emergencies. They are safer than they've ever been. You visit often, pretending that this is normal life now. For a while, it almost feels like it is. You stop looking over your shoulder every minute. You sleep longer. You answer unknown calls without panic. The past begins to feel distant, like something that happened to another person. Then, one afternoon, everything shatters. You're leaving a meeting when shots explode around you. Glass bursts, people scream. A bullet tears past your shoulder. Guards pull you down. Cars crash. Smoke fills the street. Within seconds, it is over. The attackers are dead. You are alive. Sitting in the back of an armored vehicle, shaking without control, you realize something you had almost forgotten. In this world, safety is never permanent. It is only borrowed. Sometimes, late at night when the mansion is quiet, and even the guards seem half asleep, you think about how it all began. A cold floor, plastic cuffs cutting into your wrists, a flickering bulb in an abandoned garage, a shaking voice promising obedience in exchange for your family's lives. Back then, you were just a student who wanted a normal future, someone who believed love and hard work were enough to protect him. You remember how fear controlled every step you took, how every decision was made to survive one more day. Now you sit in a room lined with cameras and armed men signing orders that decide who lives, who disappears, and who is forgotten. The fear never left. It only changed sides. Your phone vibrates, an unknown number. You stare at it for a moment before answering. The voice on the other end is calm, familiar, patient. "I'm coming for you," he says. The line goes dead. You place the phone back on the table, straighten your jacket, and look out at the city below. Somewhere out there, another cycle is beginning. And this time, you are ready. If you like this story, subscribe for more. New stories are coming, stay tuned.